Hey guys, it is Jen Lefforge. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. If you're new, I'm Jen. We talk about Disney, we talk about Disney Vacation Club, we talk about running and running Disney, and I hope you'll stick around. Make sure you subscribe, press that little bell notification because you don't want to miss a thing. And I just hope that you'll like and comment and that you'll participate because that's what this is all about. I love participating with you guys. And on that note, when I did the giveaway video, and I will put a link right up here so that you can click on that because as I film this, the giveaway is still open. And I asked you guys what you wanted to see from the channel. One of the big things you said was you wanted to know what my favorites were. And I'm like, well, what do I like to talk about more than my favorite things? So this is going to be a new segment. I'll try to do these once a week, maybe every other week, and it's going to be Jen's favorite things. Raindrops on roses. No, sorry, singing again. Need to stop with the singing. No, never stop with the singing. So what I'm going to talk about today is my 5 favorite resorts on Walt Disney World property. And I think some of these might surprise you guys. As you may or may not know, we are Disney Vacation Club members. So a lot of our vacations, we do use our Disney Vacation Club points. If you don't know what DVC is, I will put a link up here that will take you to my video that talks all about that. So some of these resorts are DVC. But even the ones that are, you can still book there through Disney or through your travel agent or on Expedia or however you book your vacations. Frequently, there are discounts available. I strongly suggest that you work with a Disney travel agent because he or she can help make sure that you take advantage of everything. I'm not one, but I have lots of friends who are. So you definitely want to go that route and it won't cost you anything. So let's dive right in. I love talking about my favorite resorts. I get calls all the time from friends that are like, we're going to Disney, where do we stay? I always have to ask a lot of questions first. You know, who's going? Are young kids going? Are teenagers going? But I'm gonna give you my favorites for our family, which is myself and my husband and our 3 boys. These are our absolute top 5 favorite resorts. And I'm gonna go from well, they're all my favorites, but I'm gonna go from my least favorite of my favorites to my number 1 favorite. And we're gonna start with number 5, which is the Beach Club. Now, we also love the Yacht Club, although I will say I just stayed in one of the Yacht Club refurbished rooms. I didn't love it. It felt kind of cold to me. I know that everybody else loves them though, so you know, your experience may vary, but I'm gonna go with the Beach Club. The reason those are kind of together is Beach Club and Yacht Club are next to each other and they share this amazing pool complex called Stormalong Bay that has a sandy bottom and a lazy river and multiple slides. And this place where your kids can dig in the sand and there's I mean, lounge chairs everywhere and they will bring you drinks and they will bring you food. And honestly, I could spend an entire vacation at the Beach Club and never set foot in a park if the weather was good because it really is that beautiful. You can go and sit in a hammock and look out on the beach. You can sit in a swing and look out on the beach. I take that back. I don't think there are hammocks. I think I'm lying about that. I think the only hammocks are at the Polynesian. I'm gonna look into that and I'll put a big disclaimer if I'm wrong, but it's just at night with the lights and you've got the boardwalk across the water and they do movies for your kids and a campfire out on the beach and it's just a magical place. Add to that you can easily, like in less than 5 minutes, oh, there's Max. You know, that might be my Shop Disney box. I have new ears coming because you guys are sick of this. So if it's those, I'll let you know. But you can walk to Epcot in like less than 10 minutes. Sometimes depending on your room, where your room is, less than 5 minutes. You just pop in through the International Gateway and you're right there. So love the Beach Club, love the transportation options. There is a boat that takes you to Hollywood Studios, although frequently we will walk to Hollywood Studios unless it's really hot because the boat can be kind of slow. But you've also got all the restaurants of the Yacht Club and Beach Club, plus everything that is available over at the boardwalk, and it's all just super convenient. So number 5 is the Beach Club. And there's regular hotel rooms at Beach Club and there's also villas. So if you have a larger party or if you're a DVC member, the villas are a great option as well. We've stayed in a 1-bedroom there and a 2-bedroom and absolutely loved it. My number 4 pick. Now, a lot of you may be really surprised by this because this is not a very popular answer. But my number 4 pick for our family's favorite resort, and I think my boys would actually rate it even higher, is gonna be the cabins at Fort Wilderness. You guys, oh my God. I choked. Did you see that? I got so excited I choked. So we stayed at the cabins at Fort Wilderness years ago, and we rented a golf cart, and let me tell you all the reasons why I love Fort Wilderness. Number 1, there are horses. Number 2, there is Trails End. Number 3, there is an amazing boat that takes you right over to the Magic Kingdom or to the Contemporary or to Wilderness Lodge. Number 4, there are horses. Number 5, there's wildlife everywhere. There are deer and raccoon, and you just see all kinds of different wildlife. But the other thing that I love is the cabins themselves. Now, I want you to have a realistic idea of what these cabins are, because basically it's like, I don't want to say it's a trailer, but it's kind of like a trailer. But it's a nice trailer. They just redid them with granite countertops and stainless steel appliances, and it's just a beautiful place to stay. I feel like I am a million miles from everywhere when I'm there. Now, here's my caveat. Transportation there is a bit tricky. I would not stay there if I did not have a rental car, and I would not stay there if I didn't have a golf cart. So when you add in the price of the actual cabin itself, you need to add those 2 things in. I'll give you a really quick tip on that. There's only 1 bathroom in the cabin, so the configuration is there is a queen size bed and bunk beds in like the master bedroom, and then you have 1 bathroom, full size kitchen, like full size kitchen, and then a family room that has a pull out sofa and a TV and everything, and then you have like a place to have a meal, which I love because you can actually cook full meals there. There's also a grill out on your deck. But since we have 3 boys and 2 adults and there was just 1 bathroom, I had gotten a tip from a friend to ask to stay near a comfort station. And if the bathroom was busy, I sent one of the boys just right across the road to the comfort station. So that worked actually really well for our family. Another benefit to asking for a cabin near the comfort station is that's where there's always laundry facilities. So if you're a mom like me who does laundry on vacation, that could be really, really convenient for you as well. The pool there is lovely. There's actually a couple of different pools. There's the main pool that has a really nice water slide. You can fish there, you can rent bikes. It is just, if you've ever been to family camp, it's kind of like really nice family camp. During the holidays, you can take your golf cart around and see everybody's campsites decorated for Halloween or for Christmas. And I just love the atmosphere there. So if you've never done that, especially if you have, you know, a couple of kids or more and you want a little bit more room to spread out and you'd like a cabin and you don't want to pay the $650 a night you'll pay for a villa, the Fort Wilderness cabins are an awesome place to stay. If you ask my boys again, where is your number 1 place to stay? At least the twins would say we would want to go back to the fort. So that's my recommendation there. Okay, my number 3 favorite place to stay at Walt Disney World, and this would be if it wasn't all 5 of us traveling, because these rooms actually don't accommodate, well, some of them do, but it would be really tight. I wouldn't put 5 people in these rooms. But that is Port Orleans French Quarter. I stayed here for a run weekend a couple years back and then ended up staying there again with my friend Sarah for one of our run weekends. I love this resort, y'all. It is so quaint and peaceful. Everything is so close together as opposed to, you know, some of the Disney resorts where you're just like walking, it feels like a mile to get to your room. Everything is right there. It feels, just enchanted. The cast members are amazing. They have beignets, y'all. They have beignets. It's easy to get to the bus. There isn't anything that is more than, you know, a 3 or 4 minute walk away. The pool is great. It is a moderate resort, so you can actually get into this resort for a very reasonable price, and I would not hesitate to stay there. A couple of downsides: you don't have a balcony or a patio because it is a moderate resort, so I do kind of like having that, but depending on the time of year, if it's 100 degrees outside, then that doesn't interest me at all. But we definitely love it there. and I would not hesitate to stay there. It is absolutely one of my favorite resorts. You can also walk right over to Riverside and take advantage of their food court, their restaurants, and everything that they have over there. So definitely consider Port Orleans French Quarter. Oh, and they also have the boat that will take you directly to Disney Springs. So speaking of the boat that takes you directly to Disney Springs, we're gonna answer to my number 2 favorite resort at Walt Disney World. And that is Disney's Old Key West Resort. Now, I don't know if I even shared this with you guys, but January when I ran the marathon, I got the flu, and we ended up having to add a day on because there was no way I could make the drive back. I was running, it was the flu. I was running 104-degree temperature. By the way, I ran a half marathon with the flu, so yay me. But we ended up adding on a night, and we ended up staying at Old Key West. And when we walked in, I just remembered that that place just feels like home to me. Now, here's my caveat there. I would actually not stay there unless we could get a room near the hospitality house, and here's why. It is a massively huge resort. Now, if you had a car, it wouldn't be as big of an issue because you could, that's the other thing, you just park right in front of your villa. But if you don't have a car, you really want to be near the hospitality house. That's where the buses pick you up. That's where the pool is. That's where the restaurants are. They just redid the rooms here. I haven't seen them in person yet. I've seen them in videos. But I'm trying to explain, when I get out of my vehicle at Old Key West, I feel so comfortable. And yes, it could be because we've stayed there for years. We've stayed in the villas there. The villas are massive. Like, I think the 1-bedroom villa, I'm not kidding, is bigger than our first house. Like, these villas are the biggest on Disney property. So especially if you're traveling with a group, this is a great thing to look into. The grand villas are massive, full kitchens, all the comforts of home. You're right on the golf course if you're a golfer. Again, you have the boat that takes you to Disney Springs, and it's just so relaxing to me there. Traveling with kids can be stressful, and when we are with a large group or with our family, when we get back to Old Key West, I just feel like I can take a deep breath. So if I love that resort when I have the flu, you know, I really love that resort. By the way, I ended up going to urgent care while we were there. That was an interesting experience, but Disney will hook you up. They will actually send you with the driver to urgent care if you are ever like me and you get the flu at Disney, which I do not advise. Don't do that. So my number 2 resort is Old Key West. And then finally, my number 1 pick, and again, not everyone's gonna agree with this. Some people, I just watched a video where this was on someone's, like, the one they disliked the most, but I love the Contemporary Resort and Bay Lake Tower. We stayed at the Contemporary our very first Disney trip as a family. We stayed in the old garden wing before they tore it down. And that, I don't know if it's because when I was a kid, my very first trip to Disney, which by the way was the year that it opened, we stayed at the Sheraton, and I was so jealous of the people that stayed in the hotel that the monorail went through. It's just so iconic Walt Disney World to me. I love the pools there. I am weirdly obsessed with that round pool that kind of goes out over the Seven Seas Lagoon. I just love that pool area. Oh, I'm sorry, it goes out over Bay Lake. Yeah, there's this gorgeous pool that goes out over Bay Lake that I love. That's Disney to me. And I realize it's more subtle. I know it's a modern theme. We got the chance to actually stay in the tower last year, my son and I. And you know, there's just nothing like opening your hotel room door and you're looking at the monorail. And then Bay Lake Tower, which I'll put my room tour of staying at Bay Lake Tower up here. Again, just very understated, but very elegant, very comfortable. And that whole area with the boats and looking out on the water and the electrical water pageant, and of course the access to the Magic Kingdom, because that is the only resort area where you can actually walk to the Magic Kingdom, which if you're at the end of a long night, if you're pushing a stroller, that is worth its weight in gold. Added benefit, if you're paying cash, it's also one of the least expensive of the deluxe resorts. So it can be a super good value as well, especially if you're booked in the Garden Wing. A little tip on that, twice we've been booked, no, I guess just once, but I've heard it happen to other people where we've been booked in the Garden Wing and we got upgraded to the tower. So that's a really nice thing to have happen to you as well. Although, I do not mind the garden wing. I kind of like it's a little quieter over there, and nothing is more than like a 5-minute walk. So it isn't like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and we really enjoy the garden wing. So that's it for me. Those are my 5 favorite resorts on Walt Disney property. If you have a favorite, will you list it below? If you have any questions about the ones that I listed, please tell me that as well. And I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope if you're planning a trip that you'll get to book early, call your travel agent, get that room reserved, get those points booked if you're a DVC member, because it's gonna be busy this year. So we wanna make sure we get those reservations done. Can't wait to find out about your next trip to Walt Disney World. Have a great day, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.